Up, and we're underway here in the championship game. If this is the first time you've seen the action in the 7-on-7 tournament, I'll give you a quick tutorial on the rules. It's a touch passing camp, for lack of a better phrase. Wide receivers, running backs, defensive backs, and linebackers. That's basically who you'll see here on the field, and of course the quarterbacks. But the quarterbacks have 4 seconds to get rid of the football. We'll have a 25-minute ball game, and the clock will never stop running except for timeouts. You see the pass completed out here near the 20-yard line, and that's key. That'll bring me to my next point. For a first down, you have to get to the 20-yard line. They'll start at the 40. You need the 20 for a first down, no matter how many. Well, of course, you get four downs to get there, but you got to get to the 20 for a first down, and, of course, the end zone for the touchdown. That's your only opportunity to get a first down, just the one opportunity. Third down here. Spotting just shy of the first down marker, I believe, and it looks like now we're looking at fourth down. I have not seen the call from an official, but it looks like they spotted him just shy of the first down a few moments ago. We'll wait for the official call here in just a moment. Pierce with the football first. MLK on defense, by the way, if I failed to mention it. Look, fire, caught inside the 10-yard line, and the drive will continue for Pierce County. I was talking about the road to this championship for Pierce. They lost to Cartersville. They had to drop down to the losers bracket, where they beat Fletcher and then Ben Jones of Alabama. Bob Jones, pardon me. And then just moments ago on this very field, they won a thriller in overtime, 19-12 over Cartersville in a rematch of a quarterfinal matchup from earlier today. Tyler Harris fires, and the pass is bobbled and incomplete. Tyler Harris, the junior left-handed quarterback, and he's a big one. That pass incomplete, but there's a flag down on the play. I believe they are giving, automatic first down now to the gentleman from Pierce County. Pierce, a 1,000-student school, one of the smaller schools in this tournament, in a city of 3,500 residents, and if any of them back down in Blackshear are watching, they're celebrating the opening touchdown of this championship match at 22:10. That's the time left in this one, just 3 minutes into this one. The boys from Blackshear had the lead. They're led by head coach Sean Pender. They finished at 8-3 in 2011. Tyler Harris, the quarterback, transferred from Brantley County last season. Looks, fires, caught. Oh, no, incomplete. Boy, my mistake. We got the rosters mixed up here. We're going to have to change that Pierce County on here. This is Cartersville and MLK. Cartersville and MLK here in the championship. We'll find out where the mix-up was. It's a 6-0 score now as we near the 20-minute mark. MLK with possession and the completion. Boy, oh boy. Cartersville won that ball game over Pierce County. I knew something wasn't right. Beat Pierce County in the semifinal, 19-12, forcing this rematch between MLK and Cartersville. Look, fire, incomplete. Third down coming up. So Cartersville scores on the opening drive. Boy, all that build-up with Pierce County. Somebody's getting chastised a little bit later. MLK is certainly not blown through their competition in this tournament, but they've really only had one true test, and that was to this very Cartersville team. MLK finished at 12-1 last year, their only loss coming in the state championship tournament, where they lost in the state semifinals. They knocked off the defending state champions. They beat Stevenson for the region championship. One of the most highly decorated teams over the last couple of years, Stevenson was. Had 15 Division I prospects, that team did. Or still does in some ways. Completion out here in the flat. They're led by head coach Michael Carson. They've got a slew of very talented young men, but one of the big keys for them this year will be this man at quarterback, Monquavius Johnson. He will be charged with the task of filling in for Jonquel Dawson, one of the all-time great quarterbacks, quite frankly, in Georgia State football history. The right-hander looks and fires, but no, they'll say he did not get the pass off in time, and it'll be fourth down. The 4-second violation here. Second down. The 4-second rule, pardon me. As I mentioned earlier, quarterbacks with 4 seconds to get rid of the possession. Under 19 minutes. MLK's first possession of the championship game, and this pass is tipped away. Cartersville leading the championship game. MLK won the quarterfinal matchup between these two teams 31-25 in overtime. Snap and look. Got to get it off, and he does finally. Caught off the shoestrings and the grass, the blades of grass, and finally they'll say the pass was incomplete. That was so close. 6-0 Cartersville as we near the 18-minute mark. Well, I got to go back and do that whole bracket thing again. Tell you how Cartersville got here. Look and fire. Back of the end zone, a jump ball that's incomplete. And that will bring up the change in possession. Keep in mind, a defensive interception. An interception by a secondary man results in 3 points for that team. So interception so very important. We saw it here earlier this afternoon in a tie game. One team was driving seemingly for the winning touchdown. An interception came up. They ended up losing by 10. Cartersville won their first game today against Harding Christian Academy, then beat Riverdale, then beat Pierce County. Beautiful throw and completion. And it looks like it'll be enough for the first down. And then, as I mentioned, Cartersville's only loss so far in the championship bracket was to this MLK squad. They then dropped down to the losers bracket, where they only had to beat Pierce County to get into this title game. Wynn looking for the signals. Gets the call on the snap. Left-hander firing into the end zone. He caught it, but was he in bounds? No, he was out. Stays at 6-0, at least for the moment. With some great programs from some great communities. 32 really fine programs from across the Southeast were here this weekend. Look at the great first move, and now within 5 yards of a score, Cartersville looking to try and add to their lead after the great throw and catch right in the middle of the field, where the running back was able to make the catch and make the move down the field. So a first down now. Quarterback gets the sign from Frank Barden, the head coach for Cartersville. Fire right in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Barden's team was just at 5-5 last year, and they're looking to try and tick up a little bit more and get back to a familiar spot for Cartersville, that meaning the playoffs. They lead here 12-0. 15-minute mark. 10 minutes gone by in this championship game. Cartersville with one of the great nicknames, the Purple Hurricanes. 1-point conversion try. Back corner, jump ball, and incomplete. They decided to try from the 10-yard line. That's a 1-point PAT conversion attempt. When they back it up to the 15, it'll be for 2 points. So either way, Cartersville has scored twice on touchdown passes and twice come away with no extra points. It's 12-0. Incomplete. Big play by the defender to knock that one away. Missed the number on that young man. May have been Cooper or Land, either Josh Cooper or Hayes Land. But one way or another, a tremendous play. Again, this is not just a passing camp. It's also a defensive secondary camp. Just as important for this quarterback, this young man learning the new position, trying to take over for one of the all-time great quarterbacks, as it is for the man with the gold helmet on in the secondary. Just as important for everybody out there on the field. Snap. MLK really needs points. Caught. Make a move. 10-yard line, and he's touchdown there. Coming up on the 13-minute mark. Cartersville had a chance at the playoffs last year, lost in the 7-3A play-in game, sort of. A 7-3A playoff is what it was. They lost to Dalton 21-14, and over the last 6 years, they've been kind of up and down. This is a team that in the early part of the 2000s and late 90s was one of the best in the state. Caught by a man on his knees at about the 2 or 3 yard line. So third down now coming up. MLK threatening, and they certainly need points here. Again, thanks for joining us as we conclude our action in the 7-on-7 Southeastern Tournament. Snap. Johnson looks and fires, and he's got his man in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. At 12.5 minutes, it's 12-6. And now after the 2 missed extra points for Cartersville, how very important are the extra points here for MLK? You get this extra point, this 1-point conversion, you see some momentum, and he's got a man open. Can he find him? He tries. It'll be a jump ball, and it's incomplete. He spotted the same man I did, but he tossed it in there just a tad too late, and it stays at 12-6. So Cartersville back out onto the field, led by quarterback Brooks Barden. Yep, coach's kid. The head coach's kid, no less. And he's touchdown. Good reception there. Believe that's Land. Hayes Land on the reception. The senior, 6'1", 180. Where do they mark that? About the 15? Yep. So a first down for Cartersville. Boy, it's tough enough being a coach's kid, but when you're the head coach's kid, part-time player last year, stepped in early in the year, got a little more playing time, led his team to a touchdown drive in their final game of the year. Corner ball, incomplete. Overshot his man a little bit. Ball no doubt a little bit slick still. The fields are wet. Players doing a pretty good job of keeping their footing, and the draining here is not bad. That is always a key with the AstroTurf, or field turf as it were. I believe this one is, yeah. Yeah, it's a field turf. I know because I've got the rubber bits in my shoes. Barden. Caught in the end zone, a huge touchdown for Cartersville at 10.5 minutes. That's going to push the lead to 18-6, and that is a big one. Looks, fires, incomplete. So Cartersville 0 for 3 on extra points, yet their lead is 12. 9:40 left. Remember, the clock is always running. So now what you're looking at, most likely, MLK's got to have points on this drive. They're probably only looking at 2 more drives. So most likely the game now has laid out in front of them. Score here, got to have a stop on defense, can't allow points, and then you got to score again. Going deep. This would help. And it's incomplete. Cornerback cheated over. Safety was beaten. Wide receiver had a shot at it, but the defensive man wins the battle in the long run. It's second down. Be very interesting to see what Cartersville can do this year. Team that won the '99 state championship, made it to the state semifinals in 01 and 04. Six Purple Hurricanes have played in the NFL, most notably Ronnie Brown, who of course went to Auburn. Deep ball, corner, they need it. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. A tremendous catch in the back of the end zone. My, oh my. That kind of wakes up the crowd a little bit as well. Or maybe that was just me screaming into the microphone. 18-12, the extra point coming up. 8-minute mark. This is big. Johnson, a floater into the corner, and it's incomplete. So 18-12. Clock continues to run. So here's that storyline unfolding as I thought it might. And the pressure falls now to the MLK defense. A defense that was, well, I saw MLK, 2-3 times last year, and I think I've seen them 6 times over the last 3 or 4 years. And there are times when MLK's defense is bloody, tough, flies around the field as fast as anybody in the state. There are times when they can be gouged. Now, if they want to win this tournament, they've got to step up in an incomplete pass to start things. They got guys like Jacarthy Mack, a senior, 6'3", 200, who is a highly, highly recruited young man. Carlos Garrett, a senior at 5'8" and 190. 5'8" and 190, and man, he'll hit you like a brick house. And then there's Jeremy Tyler. Tyler, a safety senior, 6 foot 200. And Manny Bell as well. I don't believe Emmanuel's here, but that linebacker, one of the toughest as well. They love to play their 3-3-5 defense. Barden, deep, and incomplete. So the door's starting to open a little bit more here for MLK. 6:25 left in this one now. We're looking at third down. Thanks for joining us here on the PlayON High School Sports Network. Our entire crew here at PlayOn's had a great time out here at the fields, James Brown Park in Dalton, Georgia. They put on quite a show here today. Not just the teams, I mean the hosts. Christian and Jennifer Bird did a tremendous job of putting this thing together. Fires, got his man down there, and it's incomplete. Boy, that's exactly what they needed. Would have been a first down and could have been a game killer at that. Instead, it's going to bring up fourth and long. Now on this fourth down play, they've got to have the 20-yard line. Wait a minute. Got a flag down on the play. So what's this call going to be? Has been a tremendous day out here despite the suffocating humidity and the torrential downpour we had at one point. It's been a great day to be out here. Fires, the quick fire, right across the middle and caught. Second down. Yeah, after the penalty, they gave Cartersville the automatic first down, and boy, it was that big because now they'll chew up, I'd say, 3, maybe 4 minutes off the clock. At some point, Mike Carson for MLK, one of my favorite coaches in the entire state. What a great, great man he is. Always there to give you some knowledge and let me pick his mind a little bit. At some point, Coach Carson going to have to use a timeout. Barden, left-hander, looks, going deep. Could be a dagger. Got a man down there. He made the catch. And there's flags on the play. They're going to get the defensive pass interference, I believe. And they may give the spot on the catch. Most importantly, while the officials are talking this one through, and it will be a pass interference call on the defensive back for MLK, 4 minutes left. Purple Hurricanes knocking on the doorstep now with a chance to put this one away. Had a coach for MLK on the sideline scream out, "Let's go, we need a stop." They really need a turnover. Cartersville scores here. This thing may be over. At 18-12 they lead. Looking, firing, and incomplete. Oh, you got to have a turnover if you're MLK. They're making a defensive substitution here. 3 minutes we're coming up on now on this one. Been a long weekend for everyone involved, the parents, the kids, the coaches. And when you get this close, you forget how tired you are and all the games that you've played today. 5 games, that means nothing right now because you want to get through this long weekend with a win. And Cartersville may be on the verge of doing just that. The touchdown in the front of the end zone at 2:45. It's 24-12. Boy, Barden really starting to roll now. Barden really starting to look pretty impressive here at the quarterback position. Big extra point. Incomplete. Two minutes left. It's a 12-point game. They got to score, and they got to do it in a hurry. Then you use a timeout, and you hope for a turnover. The snap. Johnson's looking. He'll fire. And that's the last thing they need, unfortunately. Had to get rid of it before the 4-second penalty. Again, if you're just tuning in, quarterback's got to get rid of it in 4 seconds. He had to get rid of it there. Can't go short, young man. Got to fire it out there. He finally does. They get the tag on at about the 30-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 yards. Got to hurry. Running out of time. Closing in on the 1-minute mark. Snap. Looks. Fires across the middle and incomplete. And finally, the timeout for MLK at 1:02. 32 teams from all across the Southeast. From Neptune, Florida, all the way over to Searcy, Alabama, up to Murray, Kentucky, down to Madison, Alabama. You had Ringolds, you had Auburn's, we had Lions and Tigers and Purple Hurricanes. Snap. Looks. Fires. And caught. But immediately the tag at the 20. Got to get back to the line. That's what the coaches are screaming. And you got to get lined up. That's one of the big rules, is that they want you to be lined up. There's no constant motion. Snap. They're in trouble now. They got to hurry. Got to have a score here. And incomplete. Oh, this will be a minor miracle at this point to win this one. 25 seconds. No onside kick. And they've got no timeout. So barring a major mistake by Cartersville offensively, which would have to be an interception, this thing's just about over. But again, it's been a tremendous, tremendous week. We do have a flag on the play. And that's it. They will, in fact, let this one run down. So the trophy sits at midfield, and the 2012 Southeastern 7-on-7 champions will be the Purple Hurricanes of Cartersville. They win 24-12 over the Lions of MLK. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate the hospitality here in the carpet capital of the world. Dalton, Georgia, Jennifer, and Christian Bird did such a tremendous job. So for our entire crew here at James Brown Park in Dalton, for Corey Steinecker, Blair Eifeldano, my broadcast partner Scott Janovitz, and of course Allison Burke, I'm Chris Mooningham. Thanks for joining us. Cartersville, the Southeastern 7-on-7 2012 champions. And you've been watching it right here on the PlayON High School Sports Network.